Good, marvelous Monday morning, Sunnies. All right. I'm so excited to be here in the Sunny TV Clubhouse or the Sunny TV studio, whatever you feel. We are going to hit this week off with a home run already today. The coffee is hot, the sunshine is shining, and we have a fabulous show ahead that is packed with stories, community, culture, and a bit of chaos. The way mornings should be, absolutely. Today, we're talking about some big conversations happening right here in our community, a few headlines that might make pet owners perk up a little bit, and some inspiring stories that remind us just how powerful one person's idea can be. Plus, we got events bringing people together and around one long table in the heart of downtown. We have a blooming celebration that's about to turn West King Street into something magical, and of course, we have all that and so much more. But before we get into all that and unpack these articles in the TLDR or whatever the kids say these days, we're going to turn it over to the queen of the Sunny snack scene. Mel, what were you snacking on over the weekend?
This weekend, last night we did grilled steak with, I put it over a salad, and then we had baked potato.
Okay.
So that's what I had.
We were going to that community table thing and the steak chop house salad. That must have been an inspo.
I love a chopped salad.
What kind of dressing do you do with something like that?
This one was like a Mikato dressing, which is so funny. Yeah. Today we're stepping into a world of opera because we're welcoming Curt Tucker, known as Curt, from the First Coast Opera to Sunny TV. They're bringing the classic production, the Mikato, to Lewis Auditorium at Flagler College, and we're going to talk about why this show has been entertaining audiences for over a century.
That's awesome.
Yes, plus we got some throwbacks from TV history, a feel-good playlist, and a few local events that are going to have Sunnies marking their calendars.
All right, and later in the show, of course, we have the Sunshine Shenanigans story. Mel actually sent this over. It's about a girl that goes AWOL on a car.
Don't talk so much.
And a little bit of glitter. That's it.
Shush.
That's it. Just a little bit.
And we're also talking about some exciting things happening around town, including a community event that's all about bringing neighbors together, and another celebration that's about to turn springtime in St. Augustine into a full-on experience.
Well, just don't touch my food.
Don't touch it. No.
Right, no touch.
Separate.
Nothing. Separate everything. And today might make you look at the world a little bit differently. From a kid doing something incredible for charity and a reminder that living in Florida sometimes means sharing the neighborhood with wildlife. We're going to get into all that because today is fierce.
It's fresh.
It's Sunny TV! And we're going to say a quick word to our title sponsors, the Bailey Group and Steve Chapman's All-American Air.
Oh, my bestie.
Be ready for anything with the Bailey Group, an NFP company. Life is full of unexpected moments. Whether it's securing your family's future, protecting your business, or planning for individual wealth, the Bailey Group is here to guide you every single step of the way. Since 1954, the Bailey Group has been a trusted cornerstone of the St. Augustine community. Under the leadership of President Mark Bailey, they've grown from a local agency into a nationally recognized firm, offering tailored solutions for individuals, families, and businesses, with a focus on individual health and life insurance, Medicare solutions, group insurance, and property and casualty commercial coverage. The Bailey Group combines cutting-edge technology, strategic partnerships, and personalized service to deliver the peace of mind you deserve. Give them a call today, 904-461-1800.
Hi, I'm Steve Chapman, owner of All American Air Conditioning and Heating. For over 40 years, we've been serving St. Augustine and the surrounding areas. We're the largest HVAC dealer in St. Johns County, providing high-quality service and products. With courteous technicians responding to your HVAC needs, our expertise will give you confidence in your investment. Family-owned All American Air Conditioning, voted best of St. Augustine for more than 20 years running.
You know, this time period, regardless of wherever you are in the world, Sunnies.
Time period.
Yeah, this time period, of the year.
Oh.
No matter what jacket you're going to wear, it's always the wrong jacket for the weather. You know what I mean?
I wore a raincoat today, and it's not going to rain.
But it feels like rain. Yeah, so talk about this. What's going on?
Here goes the weather, my friends. Poo, poo, poo. Today on March 9th. I can't believe it's March 9th already.
March 9th.
It's going to be a high of 78, but it's going to feel about 85 degrees.
Okay.
The wind is coming in south at 8 miles per hour with wind gust up to 15 miles per hour. And cloud cover is going to be about 45%, but that's going to go away to leave the sun shining away. Tonight it's going to drop down to about 63 with wind gusts of 13 miles per hour.
Okay.
So there you go.
We're a little warmer than normal. This is fine. We'll accept that. I'm just worried about that humidity, so hopefully it'll stay down. Stay down low.
That's the worst part.
Stay low, ho.
You know what time it is?
Aha! It's detailsbydean.com.
Ding. All right, so here's some food holidays for March 9th. It's National Meatball Day.
Oh, great.
Known as everywhere, nodding in approval today. From classic spaghetti and meatballs to meatball subs, it's one of the most celebrated foods in America.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's also National Crab and Crab Meat Day. I'm not upset about either of these.
Not me
It's
either.
a salty shout out to
Depends
the
on where
sea.
the crab is coming from.
Which crab do you like the best?
Maryland or Louisiana?
I like Maryland crab better than Louisiana crab.
Okay, good for you.
You do? I do.
I mean, that was my language that I grew up. Every Sunday, we, as a family, we would get like a bushel of crabs with like Old Bay seasoning.
got crabs.
And literally just eat like monsters at a picnic table outside. And like, yeah, and like Dad would have the game on or whatever. But that was what we did as a family. Like that was our
we need to
hangout.
bring that. Let's do that. Let's bring
I
that
love
back.
crabs. Yeah, you can definitely
Do it.
Definitely go to
And
Kyle's.
This day in history, 1959, Barbie debuted.
No way.
She made her first appearance at the American Toy Fair in New York and quickly became one of the most recognizable toys in the world.
Ah.
The Ford Mustang was born in 1964.
Hey, only hot girls drive a Mustang.
And in 1981, Dan Rather takes over the CBS Evening News.
How
Celebrity.
did we feel about Dan Rather? I can't
I
remember.
liked him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know that we were old enough to really know much
You
about
know,
him.
I gotta say this is very controversial, but Brian and I love Charlie Rose. Unfortunately, he was a giant scumbag. We didn't realize that. But they're all lumped together now as like that creepy
kinda the
guy
same.
era of TV anchors.
True
yeah.
story.
How nice were you two women? Dan.
So here's a random cool fact.
Okay.
Yuri Gagarin was the first human to ever go to space, also born on March 9th. So it's a pretty cosmic birthday for her.
Okay, Yuri, we see you,
Yes,
Yuri.
girl.
All right, let's get into this local music report. Strum it, drum it, hum it down, Sonnies. It's time for the local music report to make you proud on this Monday, March 9th. Oh, he's back. He's the resident of Jim Lamb at the Milltop Tavern at noon.
I just put the names together. I said Jim Mill.
And we've got Richard Konsicki, Cafe Alcazar, 12:15. Muddy Marshall at Bin 39 at 2 o'clock today. Joshua Tennessee Worthy at the Milltop Tavern at 4:30. Kevin Edwards, Hurricane Grill and Wings at 5. Stu Weaver at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill at 6 o'clock. Amo Doyle is playing over at Meehan's Irish Pub. You're going to see a lot of really cool musicians coming up and out of the woodworks at Meehan's for getting ready for St. Patty's Day at 6 o'clock. And then finishing out tonight is Johnson Burns. I won't say it. You say it. We all say it in our heads. Trade Winds Lounge at 9 o'clock p.m. Sonnies, let's have some great expectations for them.
People are looking for a company. I want people to have great expectations. We are a small family-owned brokerage. What that means is you get really personalized service and everything is very hands-on. You're not just getting tossed onto the MLS and crossing our fingers. We're very aggressive with our marketing. We're excellent with communication. We have a lot of amazing relationships in the community, so you're getting the advantages of all of those things.
All right, Sonnies. Opera has a way of transforming us somewhere magical. And right here in St. Augustine, one organization has been bringing the magic to life for years. Our next guest is the executive and artistic director of First Coast Opera and a passionate champion for the arts in our community. With their upcoming production of the Mikato taking the stage at Flagler College, please welcome our friend Curt Tucker. Hey, buddy.
Hey, good morning. Great to be here.
Welcome to Sunny TV. This is your first time on Sunny.
It is. It is. It's very exciting.
We have a great audience that is going to be welcoming you right now in comments. But while they're doing that, talk to us a little bit about First Coast Opera and tell us what it's all about.
Yeah, sure. First Coast Opera started in the year 2000, so we're 26 years in. It began as an organization just to provide local wonderful opportunities for people to sing classical music, sing opera, and recitals and the like. And we've just grown a lot over those years, so that we're now a professional company. We're a professional company member of Opera America, which is the
Awesome.
National Trade Association for Opera. And we do 2 big full-staged productions a year. We do some other concerts and fundraisers. We still use a lot of local and regional performers, but we bring performers in from New York and all across the country as well.
I think that's extraordinary too. Just because we get to see something so different, you bring so many different colorful artists to our town. Can you talk about that experience and how that vetting process goes? Do they audition?
They do audition. It used to be in this business that you'd go to New York and everybody lived in New York and everybody would come audition
Right.
and do all that. Well, it's 2026 now, so we get a lot of video submissions. I do a lot of it digitally now, and we get great materials because the quality of what people can present. So when those auditions are mostly held that way, sometimes they're in person, a lot of times they're digital, and we screen through those. And every production, we do have a lot of artists that return, but we also have new artists every production too, because you're trying to match the right artist with the right role and the right production and the right team and the right cast. And so we just kind of vet that process, and I lead that process. And so each production we have a different cast that comes in.
Awesome.
That's specifically suited to the piece that we're doing.
I love that. I think that's really important. And I think that opera is it's an expressive art. A lot of times opera comes in different languages, which people may have reservations to go see. Like, I don't love subtitles in movies or things. But talk about the expression that the artist brings to really convey the story.
Well, sure. I mean, opera is theater. It's drama. The music heightens it, just like in a film. And there is singing, of course, although in some works there's dialogue. So it's almost like a musical theater piece. The Mikato is that way. But, the great actors, it's great acting and singing, and it's a real emotional experience for the audience, whether it's a sad, tragic piece, whether it's a funny, comic, entertaining, piece. And that's one of the great things about opera, I think. It combines all the arts, and it just really is an emotional story and an experience for the audience.
So can you talk about your journey in opera then? How long have you been with the art, and how long have you gotten into this position?
Well, boy, wow. I've been doing this a long time, kind of my whole career. My dad was a high school music teacher. He was
Amazing.
He was a band director, so I've been around music my whole life. So I come to this as a musician.
Cool.
And I studied voice. I started singing when I sang in the children's choir at church when I was a kid, and
Nice.
I kind of never stopped. So I'm a singer at heart. I studied conducting, and so a lot of times I conduct. This production, I'm actually on stage singing.
Oh, get out! I never knew that.
Yes, you're right. So I venture up onto stage every once in a while, which is great fun. So I've been doing this a really long time. I've been at 3 different opera companies, but I've been here with First Coast Opera for 12 seasons now.
Amazing.
It's been fantastic, and we've just seen a meteoric kind of rise in what we do, and it's very gratifying.
Well, I think it's amazing, and I'd love to get into the chat of the Mikato that's coming up. This is one of my favorites. Like I told you over the weekend, I went into this deep dive just to really learn about this opera. Can you tell us about the Mikato?
Oh my gosh, the Mikado. So this is what we call operetta. What is operetta? Well, it's a light opera because it's a comic opera, but the operetta is really the precursor to the American Broadway musical.
Okay.
So there's great, it's comedy. There's great toe-tapping music to it, but there's also dialogue. It is in English. It was written by Gilbert and Sullivan, a British pair. It was written in 1885, so a long time ago, late 19th century, and yet this piece, the humor in it is it's still, works today. It's just brilliantly written, and so it's just a great piece in that regard. It's one of the great operettas. Gilbert and Sullivan wrote 14 operettas, 3 that are really well known. The Mikado is one of them. The Pirates of Penzance.
Oh, yeah.
HMS Pinafore.
Okay.
Those are the ones that most people know, and this is one of them. All of them parody British government.
Yeah.
Even though this one, peculiarly perhaps is set in a fictional Japanese town, but it's really a parody of British government. And, somehow you come across the pond, it might hit American government a little bit too.
Absolutely, and you're absolutely right in this day and age. But I think that's what's brilliant is this play opened in London, so it literally was in the face of the government, and the government basically embraced it. There wasn't any reporting of them pushing this down or anything, because he did it under the guise of being a fictitious Japanese town.
Exactly.
Yum Yum, and yeah,
Right.
I love all the
these
characters.
strange fictional made up Pish Tush and Peep Bo.
I
and
love it.
I play Coco.
Okay.
Right.
Coco.
That's awesome. Can you talk a little bit about the storyline? Because I know that like the town feels obligated that they have to have a killing to be able, so they don't get punished, right?
Right. It's all kind of absurd. You know, this thing is really one very long Saturday Night Live skit.
I love it. I love it.
It's the whole thing. So, yeah, the story is a little convoluted, perhaps. I think you follow it when you see it. But the town of Titipu,
Okay.
fictional Japanese town, they have a Lord High Executioner. That's the role that I play, Coco. And Coco has some wards, and he's going to marry one of them, the character called Yum Yum. But Yum Yum sees and falls in love with Nanki-Poo. Nanki-Poo happens to be the son. He's disguised as a traveling musician, but he's the son of the Mikado.
Okay.
Mikado is the emperor,
Okay.
the title character of Japan. And so there's this kind of love triangle that happens. Nanki-Poo is in disguise and hiding because his father's going to marry him off to Katasha, who is an elderly woman of the Mikado's court, they say, who he is not at all interested in. So she and the Mikado end up coming to town, and there's this question of the Mikado has sent a letter to Coco saying, well, there hasn't been any executions for a year, and you better do that or there's going to be problems. And so they come to town, so he thinks that the Mikado's coming to see an execution, but he's really coming to look for his son. Of course, Coco doesn't know Nanki-Poo is the son of the Mikado. They work out a deal where Nanki-Poo can marry Yum Yum and be married for a month and then be executed by Coco so that he satisfies the Mikado's decree.
Right.
And so when the Mikado and Katasha get there, but he doesn't really execute him, of course. They
Of course.
send him away. And so, but they have a certificate of death that they show to the Mikado to show that, hey, look, we did what you wanted us to do. And then they read it and say, well, Nanki-Poo, you've killed the son of the Mikado. And so now there's going to be punishment for you. You know, it just gets more and more absurd as it goes along and crazy. But it's great fun and it's brilliant and it's comedy. And one thing that I say, Curt Tucker's definition of comedy and opera, nobody dies.
Yeah.
So even though there's a lot of talk of beheadings and all
Yeah,
sorts
yeah.
of things, nobody dies in this. It's great fun, and in the end, everybody's happy.
So Mel, I'm gonna pivot to you because you are our Bravo specialist.
Yes.
Does this sound like a Bravo special?
This sounds like a housewife episode.
Yeah.
But instead of executing them, they're like trashing each other's refrigerators and their houses. So
Right.
this would be an opera I would go to.
Perfect.
I love some good scandal and drama.
So talk about the selection process of the Mikado for First Coast Opera. Was this something that was on a bucket list, or was this just something that happened and we're like, oh, we have to do this production?
Well, you know, the Mikado, it is one of the great works. You know, if we do 2 productions a year, one of them is usually kind of a classic tragic opera. We did Carmen this year.
Okay.
Big
I love
opera.
it.
Beautiful.
And so we contrast that. The second piece is usually a lighter piece, maybe a comedy. And we've done things like The Magic Flute and Deflator Mouse. We did The Pirates of Penzance a couple of years ago. And so the Mikado is one of those kind of bucket list, top line productions that fit that bill. And so we just thought Carmen and the Mikado would make a great season.
Yeah.
You know, for the folks that love to be moved and cry and see tragedy, and the folks that just want to be entertained and see the comedy. And so, you know, that's sort of how it came about.
So how's rehearsals going? How's the production looking?
The production's going great. We started just a week ago, and we already have the whole thing staged.
Oh my goodness.
We still have a lot to do to clean it up
course.
and all of this. Except for we have one character who's actually not arriving yet. She's arriving this week, but she is currently the leading contralto for the New York Gilbert and Sullivan Players in New York.
Wow.
That's the leading Gilbert and Sullivan troupe in the country, and she needed to come in late because the New York Gilbert and Sullivan Players is touring the Mikado in California. And so she's finishing that. So she's singing Katasha with them out in California, and then she's flying in here tomorrow, and she'll be in our production, and she's really fabulous.
That's awesome.
So
That's
how
really
did
cool.
the relationship with Flagler College come about?
Well, Flagler College, of course, is central to just about everything that happens here in St. Augustine,
Right.
and they have that theater,
Yep.
Lewis Auditorium,
amazing.
which is great. It's a really lovely. It's obviously the college's theater, and that's its primary use, but it's a great civic auditorium too. It's downtown, and I know people get concerned about downtown, but it works. There really is parking down there for when we have our productions, and
It
you
really
get in
feels like
there.
an opera house. You
It
really get that
does.
aesthetic that like it's a warm environment. The velvet curtains I mean, like it
Yes.
really does pull you into that atmosphere, which is it's a perfect spot.
Yeah, it's great. And we do our 2 productions. One we do around New Year's during the holiday break. And then so this happens during spring break. Because obviously while the students are there, they're using it for a lot of things. So we come in when the students are gone, and we're coming in on spring break. And the Flagler College has been great, and Lewis Auditorium is a wonderful setting for this. It's like you say, it feels like going to the opera, and it's got that kind of ambiance to it, and it works well. We have our orchestra, live orchestra on the floor in front of the stage, cast up on stage. It works really nicely.
So are you able to rehearse in that space, or do you have a different rehearsal space?
We have a different rehearsal space. We're actually rehearsing over at Zoika's Dance Studio.
Oh,
For
cool.
this one, yeah. And so we'll rehearse it there until we get to the last week, and then we'll go into Lewis Auditorium for about 5 days, 2 or 3 days to kind of do all our tech and dress rehearsals, and then a couple of performances.
It's amazing. So we got 2 performances coming up. We've got March 20th and 21st. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So the 20th is a Friday evening. That's the evening performance. It's at 7:30. That's our opening night. And then we'll do a Saturday matinee, which is a little unusual, perhaps, but we've done it before and it works well. It's 4 o'clock, so it's a late afternoon matinee. You know, we have some people that like to come in even from out of town and will come in and see the performance, go to dinner, and,
That's perfect.
and then head home. And so
It's
that
absolutely
that
perfect
works
time.
well on Saturday. And having it a little earlier in the day makes it a little easier to get into town as well. We do our New Year's production. We did a couple matinees with Carmen, and that's during Nights of Lights, and we all know how crazy that gets.
Yes, yes.
But the matinees make it a little easier to get into town. So it's kind of the same thing with this. But those 2 performances, they'll be the same. There'll be a lot of energy and excitement for both.
So talking about the athleticism that an opera singer has to go through, what kind of preparation do some of these opera singers have to do before the performance?
Well, they study for a very long time. It takes a long time to kind of get to the point where they can really perform. We perform without microphones. So everything is acoustic. Nothing is amplified. It is all self-amplified.
Wow.
So opera singers, it is, you're right about it being athletic. It's a very physical activity. I mean, there's this... this sort of myth that opera singers are all very big. And,
Now it sounds like they got like six-pack abs.
Right, God
Holy
bless. To be
moly.
able to hold
But
that
they
note.
really, yeah, breath control. They do an awful lot with breath, so their abdomen and their diaphragm and all of that is really trained. And then, of course, the vocal mechanism and all those things. So nowadays, a lot of opera singers, just like athletes, they do a lot to stay in shape. And this kind of production, there is a lot of movement. There's some, I play Coco, who's kind of hopefully a funny character, and it's fairly physical too. There's physical comedy to it, so you have to be kind of. I mean, I have to stretch before
Okay,
rehearsals.
good. Yeah, and
because
hydrate.
There's,
Perfect.
There's that much movement, and hydrate absolutely. You have to stay healthy, sure.
So now, when you're preparing for an opera,
Yeah.
right? Like, what do you eat? What do you drink?
Good
like,
question.
give me like the background
She's the
of
snack
this.
queen. Yeah, so you got to know.
Are there certain things you stay away from, or what do you do?
Yeah, like dairy, right? Wouldn't that just?
Well, I was just going to bring that up, but some people will say that. Me personally, I don't worry too much about that. I mean, I try to be healthy.
Okay.
Certainly, that helps. There are people who won't eat dairy, won't drink
Why?
milk, eat ice cream, or whatever. Because,
Phlegm.
yeah, it kind of can create phlegm.
It does.
If
in
you
there.
tell me I can't eat cheese before I have to do something, we're fighting.
yeah.
Like, we're gonna fight.
I'm with you. You know what? I do it anyway.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Okay, so is there a particular song or a moment that you want to shout out in the Mikato that could kind of perk some interest?
Oh my gosh. One of the things
Because they're catchy songs, right?
Well, there are a lot of catchy songs, right, and catchy phrases. Oh, we didn't mention the character Pooh Bah.
Oh,
Grand
Pooh Bah.
This comes from the Mikado.
I've heard this before.
Yes,
My father,
right.
in fact, used to introduce himself as
But
like,
is
I'm
it-
the grand poobah of the
Is
family.
that like Pumbaa from Lion King?
Oh,
Is that-
Pumbaa.
Well, yeah, but not Pooh
Could
Bah.
be.
There's no
Yeah,
M, but maybe,
yeah.
maybe a little bit.
I could see the inspiration there.
Yeah, right. It's funny. So in Gilbert and Sullivan, there's a patter character. Sings fast words. It's not so much about singing; it's about delivery. That's the character I play, by the way.
Yes.
And so sometimes there are references in there that in 1885 meant something to British society.
Like
And
what?
And those references, now we don't know, all children who are up in dates and floor you with them flat.
What does that mean?
What? Yeah, exactly. What does that mean? And so Coco sings a song. He comes out and he says he has a list of people who society could probably do without.
Okay.
And
Me
then he
too,
goes on,
Coco.
And then he goes on to sing a song listing all of these folks. And so there's a lot of things listed in there that would have been funny to audiences back then. So it's customary to update the song to this. So I sing this song, and I keep some of the original lyrics, but I change some of them.
Okay,
and so there'll be
remix.
some contemporary references. At one point, I sing, all online dietitians who insist you're getting fat. All children, all people who, in shaking hands, shake hands with you like that. And TikTok famous blowhards whom you'd rather don't exist. I mean, we take a couple little shots at the digital age.
I love it.
And I will say that we might lampoon a little bit both sides of the political aisle.
Yes.
In the song, and so you come hear that. So that's great fun.
Even though Timothy Chalamet is a lord,
Oh,
even
this
though
guy.
his movies are a bore. Ooh.
Listen,
Ooh,
I'll
I
tell
got
you.
it.
Yeah, so let real quick for a few minutes. How do you feel about that statement that he made?
Yeah,
Tell
can you
us.
comment a little pop culture moment
You
here?
don't, and you don't have to worry about being like politically correct.
nobody likes them,
How
yeah.
do you feel about it? Since this is your world.
I mean, look, Timothy Chalamet. I tell you, in my family, he's very popular. Everybody loves him. Loves his movies. I have a stepdaughter that works in the film business. She loves him.
Okay.
But I think he regrets making that
Do you
statement.
think he just said it? Didn't
I think
realize
it was
what he was
just
saying.
fell out.
You
Yeah.
say something off the cuff, and then it just blows up. And of course, when you're Timothy Chalamet, that can happen, and that's the case. This art form, opera and ballet too, have been around for 400 years. It's been around way longer than pop music. It's been around way longer than film, and it's still going. And First Coast Opera this season for Carmen, we had the largest audiences we've ever had.
Awesome.
Yay.
And that's true in a lot of places. It is an art form that not everybody knows and that not everybody loves.
And that's okay.
A lot of times because people just don't experience it. And I've been doing this a long time. A lot of people find it later in life. I have found that. So while sometimes the audiences seem like they're older audiences, I know lots of people who raised their kids and the kids went off to college and now they're empty nesters and maybe they have a little money in the bank and they want to go experience new things and they come to the opera and the next thing you know they love it and they come to all of them.
I love it.
So it is and it is also opera, and the same thing with ballet. It's not just one thing. It's a lot of different things, a lot of different styles. You could see an opera and you don't like it, but you go to another one and it's completely different. And so, it's true in film and everything else. There's all kinds of different genres. And so I think it really can appeal to a lot of people if people give it a chance.
Yeah, 100%. So before you split out of here, I want to ask you, what's one takeaway? What do you hope people see the Mikado and they walk away saying about First Coast Opera?
Well, I just think that they had a great time, that they had a good experience. I mean, we're, as a nonprofit performing arts organization, of course, we are about entertainment. And I want them to be entertained, but I want them to be enriched and enlightened because we're also an educational organization. We want people to see the performance, have a good time, feel like it was worth the time and effort and money, and but somehow just feel better.
Yeah.
And that's true even when we do tragedies and people die at the end. But because it's the emotion. I think the thing that we provide is a real emotional experience, and this one is a fun, uplifting emotional experience for sure.
Right.
But I want people to forget the stresses of the world and come in and be entertained and maybe enlightened and enriched and see something they hadn't seen before and just feel good about that.
Would this be a very good first opera moment to see the Mikado? Like if I've never been to the opera before, this would be a good one to check?
I think this would be a good one, in part because it is in English. A lot of operas, like you said, are in foreign language. This one's in English. But even when it's in English, we're going to project the titles. So because this is British English of the 19th century. So there's some phrases that don't sound like the way we talk today.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to understand it. It's in English. It's just fun. It's good characters. The music is very accessible. So I think it would be a super one to see for the first time.
Hey, you know what?
I'm so excited about this
Since
one.
there's all these different phrases, I think I can get some new catchphrases.
Oh, it could be fun.
And
You
then people
could.
could be like, "What are you saying?" I'm like, "That's right. You don't know."
You got to go to the
That's
opera,
even better.
baby. So tell everybody where they can get tickets and tell those dates one more time.
Yeah, sure. firstcoastopera.com, firstcoastopera.org also works, actually. That's the website. That's where you get the tickets through there. There's buy ticket links on there. You can choose your own seats. The performances at Lewis Auditorium. 2 performances, Friday, March 20th at 7:30 p.m., Sunday, March 21st at 4 p.m. Just come see us.
It's so awesome. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time
you.
today. Really excited about the Mikato Sunnies. We got to check that out. It's going to be so awesome. And we're going to take a quick break with Maritime Creative and Flashes and Brilliance. Maritime Vibe Check!
Fresh version.
When the lights come on and the magic begins,
There's a crew behind the scenes that always wins.
Maritime Creative. They set the stage.
From sound to lights to video waves.
Big show, small space, doesn't matter a bit.
They show up, they glow up, they make it all lit.
No panic, no chaos, just smooth, clean flow.
They take a wild idea and make it glow.
Need a vibe, they build it.
Have a dream, they get it.
From spark to spotlight, they never forget it.
I trust them, I love them, they come on through.
Maritime Creative, that's the real stuff, boo.
So if you want your moment to rise and shine,
call the crew that always gets it right every time. It's Maritime. Got gold? Got silver? Got a drawer full of what even is this? Then it's time to cash in with Flashes and Brilliance, Northeast Florida's most trusted gold buyers. They're not just buying gold, they're buying silver, rare coins, fine watches, estate jewelry, and all the sparkle you forgot you had. Don't just sit on your treasure. Turn it into cash today. Call John and Steph, the pros who make it easy. 904-540-7617. It's fast. It's friendly. It's Flashes and Brilliance because your buried treasure belongs in your bank account. Yeah, I want to give a quick testimonial with Flashes and Brilliance. They got a really cool review from somebody, one of their clients from the Nextdoor app. I wanted to share a great experience that happened to me this week. I had some gold jewelry that I was trying to get a good price for a friend who was recently widowed and needs some money. I took to a well-known local jewelry store, and they offered 50% less its value. I get it. They have plenty of overhead that they have to cover, so they can't pay customers a lot. That's why Flashes and Brilliance stepped in, and she was blown away by Stephanie and John's kindness. They come to the house, they show you everything and all your valuables, and they give nearly twice what a store could offer because they don't have that overhead. That's why it's so important right now. I know it's going to be gas prices are going throughout the roof. You're going to need some extra cash. You got to call Steph and John, 904-540-7617. Many people ask me, why do I know that number by heart? Because Steph is my first phone call if I ever get arrested. All right, let's get into these community events here. Hey, this is an interesting one that the city just put out. You guys, if you think about our brick-lined streets and our old world style, St. Augustine is going to be setting a table and everyone is invited. The city of St. Augustine in collaboration with, once again, Flagler College and the St. Augustine Sister Cities Association. I know that Colleen from Spice and Tea Exchange is a part of this association, along with Len Weeks. We love Len Weeks so much. Is hosting the very first St. Augustine Community Table, a special gathering centered sharing food, stories, and culture. This takes place Friday, March 27th from 12 to 2:30 p.m. I told you 2. So now it's 2:30.
I just hope that it doesn't rain that day.
I don't think it will. I think it's going to be a beautiful day on Sevilla Street between Valencia and
King. And they have a
King.
nice choice of menu options you can pick from.
Yeah, we already selected our lunch. We're actually going to go to this. What did you pick?
I did the steakhouse chopped salad.
Yeah, but there's like sandwiches
They
to
had the
choose.
sandwich with fig on it. That sounded good too. So I was
With
like,
the pear?
Yeah, I was back and forth.
I went with what you
What'd
picked.
you do? You did
that
the Chop House.
It just looked
Yeah.
perfect. So the event draws inspiration from El Bollo, a centuries-old tradition in St. Augustine Sisters City, Avali, Spain. Celebrating hospitality, conversation, and community, guests can expect live entertainment from who?
Zaza Flamenca!
Yeah, we love
yay.
her. Welcoming a family-style atmosphere and plenty of opportunities to meet new people and celebrate the cultural roots of St. Augustine, why it's so special. Tickets are, what are they, $20 a person?
Yeah, they're only $20 a person.
Yeah, it includes a meal, live entertainment, and a special event keepsake. You know, we love a keepsake.
Yes,
You can put it on.
you know what the best part is? Food makes everyone happy.
Food makes it brings people together.
Yep. So you sit at the table, and this is just the community showing like there's always a seat open at our table.
Yeah, and
We're gonna be there.
We are going to be there because there's a couple ad openings and I got to get filled. I'm just kidding. No, it'll be a fun time. Community rallying around that one. That'll be super fun. I think it's a fun new thing to do.
absolutely.
Thank you for it being midday, right? So
Yeah.
We still can.
I love that it's not like at nighttime because a lot of the things that happen at the night times I can't make because I'm coaching. So
That's why
this
I thought
is
of
exciting.
you. 100%. Also, thinking of people, we've got Georgia over at Great Goods. She's got a spring sale and an afterglow that's going to happen after Billy Strings. St. Augustine, get ready because Georgia over at Great Goods is not just doing a spring sale. She's turning it into a whole experience. That's our girl. Go big or
love
go
her.
home. Me too. So save the date. Saturday, April 4th, Great Goods on West King Street is hosting Blooming, a full day and night of celebration that starts with spring shopping and ends with a floral rave. Talk about the shop hours.
Interesting. So during regular shop hours from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., you can swing by for some serious deals. We're talking 15% off clothing.
Oh, cool.
A $5 and $10 rack and even $5 shoes. So if you're looking to refresh your wardrobe vintage style, head over to Great Goods. And while you're shopping, local floral artist Cassidy Ramos will be hosting a flower bar. So you can build your own boutique while you browse.
How fun.
Or bouquet while you browse. Saving money on clothes and walking out with flowers sounds like a perfect Saturday. And you can make your floral bouquet, and that could be your centerpiece for your Easter.
I think that's perfect.
Because isn't Easter the next day?
Yes,
April 5th?
You are right.
Yeah.
Hey, Mel, catch this too. Later that night at 9 p.m., they have an immersive floral rave experience. As you know, that they've been hosting some incredible moments, especially with DJ Sasha Bloom.
Oh, get it,
See what they
Bloom.
did there
See
with
what
the
they
floral?
did.
Nice. So, yeah, it's a dreamy garden-style dance floor filled with plants, flowers, and house beats. This is going to be super fun. Enter the party for just $5 and check out Blooming at Great Goods.
I love it.
We will be there. That's fun.
Yes.
Yeah, because we're judging the St. Augustine Easter Parade. So as soon as the Easter Parade's over, I'm probably going to swing by and check out Blooming
Go
over
get
at Great
some
Goods.
stuff.
Yeah, because those are some great deals. And I know that I have my eye on a couple things. Hopefully I can line that up with that discount and hit it out of the park. All right, this first one. Raccoons. We love them.
No,
They're
we
cute.
don't.
They're cute babies.
I don't like a trash panda.
You don't like
They have weird
Oh,
hands.
They're so cute. All right. Well, this is a reminder that when you live in Florida, you're not just sharing the sunshine with your neighbors, you're also sharing it with the wildlife, too. The wildlife of the land. Authorities in Northeast Florida are warning residents after several raccoons tested positive for canine distemper, a disease that spreads quickly among wildlife and can be dangerous for unvaccinated dogs. Now, if you're picturing something dramatic like a raccoon charging through the backyard, that's not what it looks like. Raccoons infected with distemper often appear confused, weak, or wandering around during the daytime, which is unusual since raccoons are typically nocturnal animals. They might move slowly, seem disoriented, or show symptoms of runny eyes, matted fur, or shaky movements. This does not affect humans, but can spread to dogs that are not vaccinated.
Here's the thing that kills me. If you
Tell
have a
me.
pet, be a responsible pet owner. Get your pet vaccinated. Like, I don't understand what the... So, I don't
Because there's just not enough education, and what you're doing right now is educating people that they need.
You need to get your pet vaccinated. You also need to get your pet spayed and neutered.
So what would you say to somebody that says, I can't afford to get my pet
There's
vaccinated?
all kinds of low-cost vet clinics. I see it when I go to Petco, when I go to PetSmart.
St. Augustine Humane Society,
Yeah,
a perfect
they
one
have
to partner
signs
with.
up. They're like low-cost vaccine clinic, and go.
Yeah.
Like when we first got Luna, we hadn't got her set up at a vet yet, so we went to one of those low-cost, I think it was at Petco.
Right.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
Get yourself a good vet's office that may have like a package you can purchase that covers the vaccines, and you pay it a month.
Yeah, that's what you do, which is
Yep.
wonderful.
The Shores Animal Hospital guys, they're amazing. But my whole thing is like, you get your pet vaccinated to protect them, right, against these other wildlife. And also too, like, get a fence for your dog. If you can't afford a fence, keep your dog on a leash. And just be a responsible pet owner. If you see, obviously, we all know raccoons are nocturnal animals. So if you see one wandering around acting all like fakakata,
Yeah.
you know something's wrong, take the dog back in the house.
Well, with my work with tail waggers over the years, you see a lot of people, and I talk to a lot of people about vaccines and what they can and can't afford. And there's some stories out there that, there's families that have beautiful homes to be able to bring these dogs in, but just don't have that income to be able to do it, which is really important. If you look at some of these organizations, the ARC of Northeast Florida, Florida Pointer, there's a lot of these organizations that offer subsidized benefits for these dogs so that you'll be able to get these vaccines. There's a lot of grants out there that are paying for community services like that. So if you can't can't afford it, don't give up on that. Like Mel said, it's really important to vaccinate your dog.
Yeah.
So really check out
telling
those
you.
sites. Check out Tail Waggers. We always are promoting something for the better good of everybody, to keep everybody happy and healthy out there.
True
It's very
story.
important. But I love, where's that raccoon picture?
I hear you showed him. We'll show him
one more
again.
time. So cute.
Look at him.
That's a
Hey.
baby.
Ew.
Oh, they're so cute.
Goodbye.
I just want to give it a hug.
No, ew. Eat your face.
They're so sweet. All right. Oh, hey, a familiar face of Sunny TV. Did you hear about this? Cynthia Garris, Commissioner Garris, announces a run for St. Augustine mayor. How fun.
Oh, go, Cynthia, go.
That is awesome. The next story is about someone that you already know, which we know and love, is Cynthia Garris. She spent years working inside the city system itself. She began working in the city of St. Augustine, check this out, in 2008, and eventually served as the city's facilities manager before retiring from that role in 2021 and stepping further into public service. Now, Sonny, she's making another move. Cynthia Garris officially announced her run for mayor of St. Augustine.
Okay, lady.
I know. Cynthia's been been on our show multiple times, as we know. She's sat right here with us talking about the future of St. Augustine and the challenges facing the community. So whether people agree with her ideas or not, one thing is certain, she loves St. Augustine with all of her heart. I love this campaign, too, because when she made her first statement, she said it's time for people, she's going to be listening more to the people.
Yeah.
And she feels like, that may have not had their voice heard. So this is going to be kind of cool.
Yeah, so Cynthia's announcement comes as the St. Augustine mayor, I can't pronounce that word. Mayoral
Yeah.
field continues to grow. Several candidates are beginning to enter the race. Her campaign message is heavily weighed on community listening and transparency. And that comes from years of being in St. Augustine
True.
and doing the things. And I'll tell you this much. When you're going to vote for someone,
Yeah, what's your take on this?
Don't you want somebody who has been there, worked their way up, is a hard worker,
Yeah.
overcome adversity, and really truly loves the thing? Because there's nothing else that pisses me off even more. I'm going to say
Here
it.
we go again.
If somebody is in a position like they run the military, if you've never been in the military, how on earth should you be in charge of it? If you've never been starting from the bottom in the military and being in a foxhole shooting machine guns and flying planes or any branch of military, you shouldn't be in charge of it. If you've never worked in the FBI, you should never. I just think.
So she's got a well-rounded perspective.
Yeah, I just think we need people in these positions who have been down in with the locals and who know their industry and their field better than anyone else. I mean, that would be like taking me and putting me as leader of the, pick a category.
Food.
No, I would do well at that.
Oh, you would.
Put me
Okay.
in if you had to pick an office for me that I know nothing about, and I'm not qualified for, what would you pick?
Sanitation.
I love being clean, so I could do that.
So you'd be a perfect
Like the
candidate.
CIA. No, I can do
You
investigative.
would be really
No.
good at everything. I
Yeah,
think.
I don't know.
I don't see
But I'm just
anything
saying, like,
weak here with you.
I don't care what side of the political fence you sit on.
No, yeah.
We need people who know what to do in those offices. Stop putting people in positions that don't know anything about how anything works.
Well, I think that the current administration definitely has a vision, and I think that
Yeah.
their vision is definitely locked in on what they see is going to be beneficial to all concerned. Look, they've made some pretty big statements over the years, especially Nights of Lights and the contention there.
Yeah.
But I honestly, after I stepped away from the fire of the comments and everything, if you really can see their leadership perspective, I'm going to give them a lot of
Yeah.
props on this, because I do think that they have the right intentions of how they believe that St. Augustine's going to be run. And I think Cynthia's going to do the same thing. I think that she's going to listen to the people. I think she's going to get their perspectives out in the front and the foremost to be able to find the most efficient way to be able to find the compromise
Yeah.
or find the way to make things run efficiently.
You know what I like about Cynthia? When you sit down and talk with
She's
her,
no nonsense.
You're also not talking to someone who's a stuffy, boring political
No.
person. Like, she's very relatable.
She
and
gets it,
She
yeah.
has a good sense of humor where you can say jokes and she laughs.
Yeah.
Like, she's not a boring, stuffy political person.
Yeah, I'm excited for this for her, and I think
Good
this
for
is
her,
a really
yeah.
cool moment. And we're definitely going to be helping support her in any way that we can, because she is a big love for Sunny TV. So another big love of Sunny TV is our friends over at Old Town Trolley. Sit back and relax and take it easy, baby, and let it go as Old Town Trolley's licensed and talented tour conductors share over 500 years of St. Augustine history. Guests will enjoy the city's European flavor, brick-lined streets, and sites such as the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, and Henry Flagler's former Ponce de Leon Hotel. This 90-minute tour features 22 stops and covers more than 100 points of interest. Guests can use their ticket all day for on and off reboarding. You got to check out hometownpass.com. All right, let's get into some of these inspiring national stories here. Let me tell you about a guy in Philadelphia who decided that kindness doesn't always have to look heroic. Sometimes it just looks like a washing machine and a little bit of time. A man named Joe Richardson had a rough chapter in his life. He served 14 years in prison, and then he came home and had a decision to make. He tried to quietly rebuild his life, or he could turn his second chance into something that helped other people too. He did something simple and powerful. Joe built a mobile laundromat on a trailer. It hooks up to his truck, parks on the street, and washes clothes for people experiencing homelessness. No forms, lectures, or judgment, just clean clothes. And if you ever had a moment where you needed to show up somewhere feeling confident, and you already understand why this matters, because for people living on the streets or out in the wild, sometimes being at some things as basic clean clothes can restore dignity, confidence, and a sense of humanity. One man told Joe that having clean clothes simply made him feel like himself again.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the real headline here.
I think so, because he operates a mobile laundromat on the streets of Philadelphia for a few hours each week. I think this is definitely news. I think it's amazing because it shows, like, you take what you've learned and you're like, how can I make this better?
Well, he went through such a hard time.
Yeah.
What was it, 19 years in prison or
Yep.
whatever, like that? And
But
for
he-
him to
but-
be able to do something back to his
But
community.
here's the thing I will say. I wish more people, when they go to prison, they take the opportunity to reflect. And when he came out, he's like, I'm going to do some good.
Do you think that this is like a rehabilitation, a good positive rehabilitation story? I think we need more of
Yeah,
these.
but I also think it takes an individual person. Like, this guy seems like he used his time in there, and he's like, all right, I'm going to do something good. And I will tell you, I love to be clean. I love clean clothes. So for me, this story is extra amazing because just because people are unhoused or whatever, they should still have the same opportunity to be clean, because I think people don't see them as humans.
So why do you think clean clothes will have such an emotional, powerful impact on somebody's
Well,
life?
when you have clean clothes, you just feel better about yourself, and then you can go apply for jobs because no one's going to
You're
want
not
to
second
interview.
guessing yourself.
Yeah, no one's
okay.
going to want to interview if you're the stinky person,
Yeah. And why do you think second chances like this resonate so much with people? I love seeing this full circle moment where, obviously he had to go to prison, but like I think it's more of like a rehabilitation, like a reset. And then he came out learning his lesson and obviously getting back to the community in which he maybe was a detriment to.
Yeah, I think it's important because it just shows at the end of the day, people still have that innate nature for kindness.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that he got out of prison and he was like, what can I do now?
Yeah.
And he came up with the idea of, let me try to help people get on their feet. And, washing clothes, something simple as that can really change the paradigm of so many people.
I just hope somebody doesn't try to steal his washer and dryer because they see something nice like this and like, oh, let's ruin it. So let's just hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, let's not put that out into existence. I really think that this is going to be great. And obviously,
I like this story.
He's been in prison, honey. I think he can handle
Oh, yeah,
himself
that's-
on the street.
you know
so,
what? That's
yeah,
probably true.
Probably true. It is the
Don't
truth.
take my stuff.
All right, let's move on to this truth. Here is the kid who turned soda cans into $20,000 for charity.
Uh-oh.
All right, Sonnies, this is one of those stories that reminds you the world might actually be in pretty good hands. While most 13-year-olds are busy trying to beat the next level on a video game or convince their parents they finished their homework, one kid decided to start collecting something a little different. Aluminum cans.
Holy moly.
His name is Ryan Holance, and what started as a simple idea turned into something pretty extraordinary. Ryan began collecting cans from neighbors, friends, local businesses, one bag at a time, one pickup at a time. No big announcement, no big plan, just a kid who decided he wanted to help people. 3 years later, He has recycled about 1.5 million cans.
Holy moly.
And let that number sink in for a second. That's mountains of aluminum that could have ended up in a landfill. Instead, those cans were turned into something very meaningful. The recycling effort raised around $20,000, and every single dollar has been donated to charities helping families and women in need.
I love it.
Here's my favorite part. Ryan spends about 20 hours a week doing this. After school, on weekends, crushing cans, organizing pickups, and keeping the project moving. When someone asked him why he keeps going, he gave the very most honest answer he could possibly give. Sometimes he'd rather be playing video games with his friends, but helping people just feels better. And honestly, Sonnies, if that doesn't give you a little hope about the future, I don't know what will.
We need more kids like him.
Absolutely.
So what's really amazing about this story is how quickly Ryan's idea grew. He started collecting just a few hundred cans a week, but as word spread through the community, more and more businesses started saving their recycling for him. Today, he works with around 200 regular suppliers who collect cans for the project. Last year alone, he recycled 8 tons of aluminum cans.
Wow.
The effort raised over $7,000 in a single year for charity. This is amazing.
I think what makes this story so powerful is how simple the idea really truly is. I mean, it really goes back to our roots on collecting cans and getting some monies for it.
You remember doing that?
I do remember doing this. And he didn't just invent something complicated.
No.
He just launched like a massive like philanthropic company to be able to help a lot of these different organizations.
And his family helped him.
Yeah.
I think this is pretty cool.
A good thing to reminder, too, is recycling aluminum uses up to 95% less energy than creating new metal. Small habits repeated consistently can create enormous impacts like this.
Yeah,
Way
how
to
about
go.
this? At first, they were crushing cans by hand at home, but the operation got so big that he eventually was given industrial can crusher to keep up with the volume.
Wow.
Somebody said, listen, we see you. And guess what? Here's a can crusher.
Yeah, that's awesome.
People take note and they see it.
And they want to
you know?
help, well, do the best they can. Let's give him a positive pickle statement.
Yeah.
You relish every moment.
Yay, that's awesome. All right,
I
let's get in
love
this playlist.
All right, here we go. My playlist for today is songs that feel like sunshine.
Awesome.
Yes. Walking on sunshine.
Oh, I'm
And
walking on
on sunshine.
sunshine. That's a great song. Who's that
And
by?
don't it feel good?
There it is.
Katrina and the Waves. This song was originally written in 1983, but the band re-recorded it in 1985 when it exploded worldwide.
Oh, wow.
And here comes the sun.
Little
La, 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 la.
darling, here comes the sun, and I'll say it's all right.
George Harrison wrote this song while skipping a stressful Apple Records business meeting.
Oh.
And relaxing in Eric Clapton's garden, the sunshine really inspired the song.
So the Apple Records, that was the Beatles,
It was-
right?
yeah,
that was
that
their
was his-
record
he
meet. So you
left
must.
'cause it was,
Okay, love that. That's great.
Yes.
All
there
right,
we
let's get
go.
into sunshine shenanigans. This is from Mel.
Hey.
We got glitter, salt, and a breakup from hell. Kentucky woman accused of destroying her ex's car. Every once in a while, a story pops up, and what makes Sunny TV Newsroom pause, sip for our coffee, and say, she did what? Well, here we go. A woman in Richmond, Kentucky has been arrested after police say she caused more than $12,000 in damage to her ex-boyfriend's car in what investigators describe as a multi-day revenge spree. And the methods? Let's just say this was not subtle. Authorities say that 31-year-old Stephanie Carlquist allegedly vandalized the vehicle over several days in July. According to the police report, the damage included slashing tires, cracking the windshield,
my God.
smashing the car's radio screen,
But wait.
pouring glitter into the AC vents, and pouring salt into the engine.
You're never getting that glitter out, buddy.
Mechanics later determined that the damage was so severe the car had to be declared as total loss. Repair estimates cost about $12,464. And if you're wondering why glitter is such a nightmare for a vehicle, it spreads throughout the entire ventilation system like a sparkly hurricane. Sounds lovely. Once it gets inside the blower and the ductwork,
You're
it's
done.
almost impossible to fully remove. So basically, glitter is forever. According to investigators, the situation began over an argument between the couple earlier in July. Police say the first incident involved slashed tires,
Oh my God.
and an additional damage occurred days later after the dispute. The story gets even stranger. Authorities say Carquist allegedly told a tow truck driver that she had damaged the car, which ultimately helped alert the owner and his family.
Look at her smiling.
Look at her. She's in heaven over this. After the damage was discovered, she reportedly sent her ex a message on Instagram apologizing, saying that she's been stressed because of pregnancy. However, police documents say not only did she claim pregnancy stress, there was no public confirmation about whether she was actually pregnant. Dude, this girl is she's a piece of work. During questioning, investigators say she admitted to some of the vandalism, including putting glitter in the vents and cracking the windshield, but suggested other problems with the vehicle were due to maintenance issues. Carquist was arrested and booked into Madison County Detention Center and is facing felony criminal mischief charges. Her bond was set at $12,000, and the case is moving through the court system. As for the couple was actually fighting about, that's not been publicly released. So Sonny's lesson might be simple. Breakups are tough, but maybe leave the glitter out of it this time, because relationships and HVAC systems alike, once glitter gets in there, it never leaves.
You're stuck. If you got glitter in anywhere, you're stuck.
You are stuck, boo.
Today, let's talk about some shows we love from yesteryear. First up is The Golden Girls.
Oh, one of my favorite of all times.
Yes.
I love The Golden Girls.
It ran from 1985 to 1992. The iconic moments were when the legendary cheesecake at the kitchen table scenes. Whenever life got messy, Dorothy, Blanche, Rose, and Sophia would gather around the table at night, and they would slice cheesecake and talk about everything from relationships to heartbreak.
Yeah, I mean, The Golden Girls was such a big moment. I mean,
Yeah, it
I still
was.
watch it to this day. I watch it over and over
love it,
again.
too.
Golly.
And we can't go without talking about Designing Women.
Julia Sugarbaker.
Yes. So this ran from 1986 to 1993. Julia Sugarbaker's famous "That's the Night When the Lights Went Out in Georgia."
Oh, remember
it's her
that.
speech where she absolutely demolishes a rude beauty pageant queen, the judge, in one of the most iconic, legendary monologues on TV.
Oh, I love all of those
Yes.
shows. That's fun.
I love it.
All right, Sonnies, before we go into the day, let's remember something important. Every morning, the sun rises over this beautiful little corner of the world we call home, and every single one of us has the chance to rise with it. A kind word can change a day. A brave step can change a life. A community that believes in each other can change the world. So whenever you go out today, carry a little light with you. Lift somebody up. Speak hope into existence, and choose courage over fear, because the future isn't something we wait for, it's something we build together. Yeah.
I love it. Shout out to Curtis from First Coast Opera coming in to hang out with us and tell us all the things happening. Get your tickets. Go see Mikato on the 20th and 21st.
It's going to be super
It's gonna
fun.
be a good time.
Call, Mel. And don't go drifting away too far today. Looks like a lot of people have, but we'll fix that this afternoon. 3 o'clock will be the Sunshine Brigade back in Sunny TV. We got a Natty's Reddit Rundown report.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.